Have you ever caught yourself looking in the mirror and thinking, when did I start looking so much older? Or maybe you felt your energy dip a little lower than it used to, and you wonder if this is just how things are supposed to be after 70. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Aging is something we all experience. But have you ever noticed how some people seem to defy the years? They're in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, and yet they have a spark in their eyes, a spring in their step, and a zest for life that's downright contagious. It's almost as if they've discovered a secret recipe for staying young, no matter what the calendar says. Today, I want to share with you some of those secrets, real practical things that people over 70 do differently to keep that youthful spirit alive. And let me tell you, it's not about expensive creams or miracle pills. It's about simple habits and small choices that add up to a big difference. Whether you're already in your 70s or just looking ahead, these are things anyone can start doing right now to feel younger, healthier, and more alive. So, what's their secret? Why do some people seem to age gracefully, while others feel weighed down by the years? In this video, we're going to explore 6 things that people over 70 do differently to stay young. These aren't just tips. They're habits that can transform the way you feel inside and out. And the best part, you can start today, no matter where you are on your journey. Let's begin with something that might surprise you, the way these youthful seniors approach movement. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights at the gym. What sets them apart is their commitment to staying active in ways that feel good for their bodies. They don't let age become an excuse to slow down completely. Instead, they find joy in movement, whether it's a gentle walk in the park, a bit of gardening, or even dancing in the living room to their favorite oldies. It's not about pushing themselves to exhaustion. It's about keeping the body in motion every single day. I remember chatting with a lovely woman named Gloria, who's 82 and still walks her dog every morning. She told me, "I don't walk fast and I don't go far, but I go every day. It's my time to breathe, to look at the flowers, to say hello to my neighbors." That daily walk isn't just exercise for her legs. It's a ritual that keeps her connected to the world and to herself. And that's the key, finding a way to move that brings you joy, not dread. Maybe it's stretching while you watch TV, or taking a few laps around your garden. The important thing is to keep moving in whatever way feels right for you. Now, you might be thinking, but my knees hurt, or I'm not as steady as I used to be. That's perfectly okay. The goal isn't to do what you did at 20 or 30. It's to honor your body as it is now, and to give it the gentle movement it craves. Even small amounts of activity can make a huge difference in how you feel. Movement keeps your joints flexible, your muscles strong, and your mind sharp. It's one of the most powerful ways to stay young at heart, but movement is just one piece of the puzzle. Another thing that people over 70 do differently is the way they nurture their social connections. It's easy to underestimate the power of friendship and community, especially as we get older. Sometimes life changes, retirement, children moving away, the loss of loved ones can leave us feeling isolated. But those who stay young at heart make a conscious effort to stay connected, even when it's not always easy. I once met a gentleman named Harold, who is 76 and the unofficial mayor of his local coffee shop. Every morning, rain or shine, he's there with a group of friends, sharing stories, laughing, and sometimes even debating the news. He told me, it's not just about the coffee, it's about having people to talk to, people who care if you show up. That sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than yourself, is a powerful antidote to loneliness and aging. If you don't have a group like Harold's, that's okay. Staying connected can be as simple as calling an old friend, joining a club, or even chatting with your neighbors. Technology can help too. Video calls, online groups, and social media can bridge the distance when in-person visits aren't possible. The important thing is to reach out, to let people in, and to remember that it's never too late to make new friends or rekindle old ones. Social connection isn't just good for the soul, it's good for the body and mind too. Studies have shown that people with strong social ties live longer, have better memory, and are less likely to feel depressed or anxious. It's like a daily vitamin for your spirit. So, if you've been feeling a little isolated, consider this your invitation to reach out. You might be surprised at how much younger you feel when you're surrounded by people who lift you up. As we talk about staying young, there's another habit that stands out among those who seem to defy the years: their attitude toward learning and curiosity. You might think that learning is just for the young, but the truth is, the most vibrant seniors are the ones who never stop being curious. They read books, try new recipes, learn to play an instrument, or even pick up a new language. They approach life with a sense of wonder, always asking questions and seeking out new experiences. Take my friend Maria, for example. She's 74 and just started painting for the first time in her life. She laughs about her wobbly lines and funny colors, but she lights up when she talks about her art class. I never thought I could do this, she says, but I'm having so much fun trying. That willingness to try something new, to be a beginner again, is a hallmark of people who stay young at heart. You don't have to enroll in a fancy class or spend a lot of money. Maybe you've always wanted to learn how to bake bread, or you're curious about the birds in your backyard. Maybe you want to write your life story, or finally figure out how to use that smartphone your grandkids gave you. The point is to keep your mind active and engaged, to give yourself permission to explore and play, no matter your age. So, we've talked about the power of movement, the importance of social connection, and the magic of staying curious. Each of these habits is like a building block, helping you create a life that feels vibrant and full, even as the years go by. Now that we've explored these first steps, let's continue our journey and discover even more ways to keep that youthful spirit alive, no matter what your birth certificate says. Let's keep going because there's so much more to this journey of staying young after 70. One thing I've noticed about people who seem to age in reverse is how they treat their bodies with kindness, especially when it comes to what they eat and drink. Now, I know you've probably heard 1,000 times about the importance of a healthy diet, but let's be honest, after a certain age, it's easy to fall into habits that don't always serve us well. Maybe it's reaching for that extra cookie with your afternoon tea, or skipping meals because you just don't feel as hungry as you used to. But here's the thing, the people who stay young at heart don't see food as just fuel or a routine. They see it as a way to nourish themselves, to bring joy, and to connect with others. I remember visiting my neighbor, Mrs. Tan, who's 78 and still cooks every meal from scratch. Her kitchen always smells like fresh ginger and garlic, and she takes such pride in preparing colorful, balanced dishes. She told me, I don't eat to fill my stomach. I eat to give my body what it needs to keep going. She's not on any fancy diet, but she makes sure her plate is full of vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. She enjoys her food, savors every bite, and never rushes through a meal. That mindful approach to eating is something I see again and again in people who seem to glow with health, no matter their age. It's not about denying yourself treats or following strict rules. It's about listening to your body, choosing foods that make you feel good, and making meal times a moment of pleasure rather than a chore. Maybe that means adding a handful of berries to your breakfast, or swapping out white bread for whole grain. Maybe it's as simple as drinking an extra glass of water each day, or sitting down at the table instead of eating in front of the TV. These small changes can make a world of difference in how you feel, giving you more energy, better digestion, and even a brighter mood. And speaking of mood, another thing that sets youthful seniors apart is their ability to manage stress and find moments of calm, even when life gets a little overwhelming. Let's face it, stress doesn't disappear just because we get older. In fact, sometimes it feels like there's even more to worry about: health concerns, family changes, or just the day-to-day challenges of getting around. But the people who stay young don't let stress take over their lives. They've learned to recognize when they're feeling tense, and they have little rituals to help them unwind. For some, it's as simple as sitting quietly with a cup of tea and watching the birds outside. For others, it might be listening to music, practicing deep breathing, or spending a few minutes in prayer or meditation. I once met a man named Ed, who's 80 and swears by his daily quiet time. He sits in his favorite chair, closes his eyes, and just breathes. "It's my way of pressing the reset button," he says. "No matter what's going on, I always feel better afterward." That ability to pause, to give yourself a moment of peace, is a powerful tool for staying young in spirit. You don't need any special equipment or training to find your own moments of calm. Maybe you like to knit, or do a crossword puzzle, or just sit in the garden and listen to the wind. The important thing is to make space for relaxation, to let your mind and body recover from the stresses of the day. Over time, these little moments add up, helping you feel more balanced, more resilient, and yes, more youthful. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you: the way people over 70 who stay young approach their sense of purpose. It's easy to think that retirement means slowing down, stepping back, or just taking it easy. But the truth is, the most vibrant seniors are the ones who wake up each day with a reason to get out of bed. They have goals, big or small, and they find ways to contribute, to help others, or to create something meaningful. I think of my friend Anita, who started volunteering at her local library after she turned 75. She helps children pick out books, reads stories aloud, and even organizes craft days. She told me, "I feel needed here. I feel like I'm making a difference." That sense of purpose gives her energy, keeps her mind sharp, and fills her days with joy. It doesn't have to be volunteering. Maybe it's tending a garden, caring for a pet, or helping a neighbor. Maybe it's working on a family photo album, or writing letters to friends. The point is to have something that lights you up, that gives your days meaning and direction. Having the sense of purpose isn't just good for your mood, it's good for your health too. Studies show that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, recover faster from illness, and are less likely to feel lonely or depressed. It's like a secret ingredient for staying young, one that you can add to your life at any age. So, as we continue this journey together, think about what brings you joy, what makes you feel useful, and how you can bring a little more of that into your daily routine. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who needs a friend, or starting a new project just for fun. Maybe it's simply reminding yourself each morning that you have something valuable to offer, no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. We've covered a lot so far: movement, connection, curiosity, nourishment, calm, and purpose. Each of these habits is like a thread, weaving together to create a life that feels rich, vibrant, and full of possibility. And the best part is, it's never too late to start. No matter where you are right now, you can choose to bring a little more youthfulness into your days, one small step at a time. Let's keep this momentum going and explore even more ways to nurture that youthful spirit so you can keep living your best life every single day. As we keep exploring what it really means to stay young after 70, I want you to pause for a moment and think about the people in your life who seem to radiate positivity, no matter what's happening around them. Maybe it's a friend who always has a kind word, or a neighbor who greets everyone with a smile. There's something special about the way they look at the world, isn't there? That's because one of the most powerful secrets to staying young is maintaining a positive outlook and practicing gratitude, even when life throws its curveballs. It's easy to focus on what's not working, especially as we get older. Maybe your joints ache a little more, or you can't do everything you used to. But the people who seem to age gracefully have a way of shifting their attention to what's still good in their lives. They notice the small joys: a sunny morning, a delicious meal, a phone call from a loved one. They make it a habit to count their blessings, not their burdens. I remember talking to Mr. Lee, who's 84 and has faced more than his share of challenges. He lost his wife a few years ago, and his eyesight isn't what it used to be. But every day, he writes down 3 things he's grateful for in a little notebook. Some days it's something big, like a visit from his granddaughter. Other days, it's as simple as the taste of his favorite soup. He told me, "When I focus on what I have, instead of what I've lost, I feel lighter. I feel younger." That simple act of gratitude is like a daily dose of sunshine for the soul. You don't have to keep a journal if that's not your style. Maybe you just take a moment each morning to think of something you're thankful for, or you share your gratitude with someone else. The important thing is to make it a regular part of your life. Over time, you'll find that your mood lifts, your worries shrink, and you start to see the world through younger, brighter eyes. Along with gratitude, another thing that keeps people young is their willingness to adapt and embrace change. Let's be honest, change isn't always easy, especially when it feels like everything is moving faster than ever. Technology, family dynamics, even the way we shop for groceries, it can all feel a bit overwhelming. But the people who stay young at heart are the ones who stay open to new experiences, even if it means stepping out of their comfort zone. I think of my aunt, who is 79 and recently learned how to use a smartphone. At first, she was nervous. She worried she'd press the wrong button or break something. But with a little patience and a lot of laughter, she figured it out. Now, she sends photos to her friends, video chats with her family, and even plays word games online. She told me, I never thought I'd be doing this at my age, but it's fun. It keeps me connected. That willingness to try something new, to learn and adapt, is a hallmark of people who refuse to let age define them. It doesn't have to be technology. Maybe it's trying a new hobby, exploring a different walking route, or even changing up your daily routine. The key is to stay flexible, to remind yourself that you're never too old to learn or grow. Every time you try something new, you're giving your brain a workout and keeping your spirit young. And let's not forget the importance of laughter and play. It might sound simple, but people who stay young make time for fun. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they find reasons to laugh every day. Whether it's sharing a joke with a friend, watching a funny movie, or playing a silly game with the grandkids, they know that laughter really is the best medicine. I once visited a senior center where a group of women in their 80s were playing charades. The room was filled with laughter, and for a moment, you'd never guess their ages. One of them, Betty, told me, "When we're laughing, we forget about our aches and pains. We just feel alive." That sense of playfulness, of letting go and enjoying the moment, is something we can all bring into our lives, no matter how old we are. So, as you think about your own journey, ask yourself, where can you add a little more joy, a little more laughter, a little more gratitude? Maybe it's calling an old friend just to share a funny story, or taking a few minutes to watch the birds outside your window. Maybe it's learning something new, or simply being kind to yourself on the tough days. All these habits, staying positive, practicing gratitude, embracing change, and making time for laughter, work together to keep your spirit young. They remind you that age is just a number, and that every day is a new opportunity to live fully, to love deeply, and to find happiness in the little things. As we bring all these ideas together, remember that staying young isn't about turning back the clock or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about honoring who you are, celebrating your journey, and choosing to live with energy, curiosity, and joy. You have so much wisdom, so many stories, and so much life left to live. And every day you get to decide how you want to show up in the world. Let's take all these lessons to heart and keep moving forward, one step at a time, with hope, gratitude, and a smile. Because the real secret to staying young is living each day with an open heart and a playful spirit, no matter what the calendar says. And as we reach this final stretch together, I want you to take a deep breath and really let all of this sink in. Staying young after 70 isn't about chasing after lost youth or wishing for the past. It's about embracing the present, making the most of every moment, and believing that you still have so much to give and so much to enjoy. The people who seem to glow with vitality in their 70s and beyond aren't doing anything magical. They're simply making small, intentional choices every day that add up to a life that feels rich and meaningful. One of the most beautiful things I've noticed about these vibrant seniors is their generosity, not just with their time or resources, but with their kindness and wisdom. They share their stories, their laughter, and their support with others. They know that giving in any form is a powerful way to stay connected and to feel alive. Whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or simply offering a listening ear to a friend, these acts of kindness create ripples that touch everyone around them, including themselves. I think of Mr. Santos, who's 81 and spends a few hours each week reading to children at the local library. He says it keeps his mind sharp and his heart full, Or Mrs. Rivera, who bakes extra bread every Sunday and delivers it to neighbors who might be feeling lonely. She told me, "It's a small thing, but it makes me happy to know I can brighten someone's day." These gestures don't require grand effort or perfect health, just a willingness to reach out and share a little of yourself. And in doing so, you'll find that your own sense of purpose and joy grows even stronger. Another secret that can't be overlooked is the way these youthful souls care for their emotional health. They don't ignore their feelings or pretend that everything is always perfect. Instead, they allow themselves to feel, to grieve, to celebrate, and to hope. They talk about their worries with trusted friends or family, and they seek help when they need it. They understand that emotional well-being is just as important as physical health, and they treat themselves with compassion on the hard days. If you ever find yourself feeling down or overwhelmed, remember that it's okay to ask for support. Sometimes, just talking to someone who understands can lift a heavy weight from your shoulders, and if you're the one offering a listening ear, know that you're giving a gift that's truly priceless. We all need each other, and there's no shame in leaning on your community when you need a little extra strength. Let's not forget the importance of celebrating your achievements. No matter how small they may seem, maybe you tried a new recipe, finished a puzzle, or took a walk even when you didn't feel like it. Maybe you reached out to an old friend, learned something new, or simply made it through a tough day. Every step forward is worth acknowledging. Give yourself credit for the effort you put in, and let yourself feel proud of the progress you're making. And as you look ahead, keep setting little goals for yourself. They don't have to be big or impressive, just something that gives you a reason to look forward to tomorrow. Maybe it's planning a visit with family, starting a new book, or tending to your garden. Maybe it's writing a letter, learning a song, or simply enjoying a quiet moment with a cup of tea. These small goals keep life interesting and give you a sense of accomplishment, no matter your age. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that you are not alone on this journey. There are so many others out there, just like you, who are choosing to live with energy, curiosity, and kindness. If you ever feel stuck or discouraged, reach out, share your thoughts, your questions, or your experiences. Might be surprised at how much your story can inspire someone else, and how much you can learn from the stories of others. If you found any of these ideas helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Share your own secrets for staying young in the comments below. What habits or routines make you feel alive? What advice would you give to someone who's just starting this chapter of life? Your wisdom is valuable, and your voice matters. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. We're building a community here, a place where we can support each other, learn together, and celebrate all the joys and challenges of growing older. There's so much more to explore, and I'd be honored to have you along for the journey. So, here's to you, to your strength, your resilience, and your endless capacity for growth. Remember, staying young isn't about the number of candles on your cake or the lines on your face. It's about the light in your eyes, the kindness in your heart, and the hope you carry into each new day. Small changes, practiced with love and intention, can make a world of difference in your health and happiness. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you feel inspired to try something new, to reach out to someone, or simply to treat yourself with a little more kindness today. Here's to living your best life at any age, because you deserve nothing less. Stay curious, stay connected, and above all, stay young at heart.